Hey, world changers. So I was on my way to church, and before I get on the highway, I see this guy in a wheelchair, and I see him all the time. He has no legs. He has arms but no legs. He's in a wheelchair. He's begging for money. And I was just thinking about this guy, and then I was thinking about Nick Vujicic. He has no legs and no arms. He has like a half arm or something. And I was thinking about Nick's story, and his story. He's an Australian evangelist. No legs, no arms, married with 2 kids, several accomplishments. And I was thinking to myself, what is the difference, other than the arm thing, between Nick and this guy who's a beggar on the side of the street? And I started to think, I'm like, the only difference that I can think of, now I don't know his situation, I don't know his story, his life story, I don't know any of that. But just from observing, I would imagine it's mindset. You see, we can never outperform the own story that we have about ourselves. We can never outperform our own story that we believe about ourselves. If you follow me on Instagram, in my bio it says Prince, right? Well, my Father is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So him being the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, well, that makes me Prince. Now, that's the story that I believe about myself, that I'm a prince, that I'm a child of God. That's the story I believe about myself. But I never always believed that story. You see, I used to believe that I was a nobody. I used to believe that nobody cared about me. I used to believe that I wasn't important, that my time didn't matter, that what I had to say didn't matter. I used to believe that story. It's ridiculous. I used to believe that story. It's because, some things have happened to me, and that's the story that I created in my head. But that's the story that I used to believe about myself. And because I had that belief about myself, I was always a self-fulfilling prophecy in that I would always run into situations where I was like, you see, I'm right. I'm right. Nobody cares about me. Nobody thinks I'm important. I'm right. All the time, I'm right. All right? But then I changed the story that I had about myself, and I started believing that I was a leader. I started believing that I was designed by greatness to do great and wonderful things. That's why I tell you all the time, you were designed by greatness to do great and wonderful things, because you may not believe it now. Some of you may not believe it now, but if I keep telling you over and over again, it gets repetitive. If I keep telling you it over and over again, my hope is that you would eventually believe that about yourself, that you were designed by greatness to do great and wonderful things. And so now that I have this other story that I believe, which is the truer story, which is the truth, that I'm a child of God and that I'm a prince, I perform that way. You see, we can never, like I said, outperform the story that we believe about ourselves. So my question to all of you is, how is your mindset? What story do you believe about yourself? What story do you believe to be true about yourself? Because the fact of the matter is, you were designed by greatness to do great and wonderful things. We were all born to be a leader. All of us, we were born to be leaders. All of us, man. And the only thing that I could think of is that this guy on the side of the street, he has a different mindset. He has a different belief about himself than Nick Vujicic has about himself. And so it all boils down to mindset. And mindset is key. And if you're not protecting your mindset, if you're not guarding your mindset, gosh, it's just going to get rampled by circumstances, by life. It's just going to get run over. And, eventually it'll just be like a bad mindset. So protect your mindset today, guard your mindset, and ask yourself the question, what story am I believing about myself? What belief about myself do I have? And if you don't have the right belief about yourself, start to dig a little deeper. Ask yourselves questions and think, reflect, observe. You'll come to find the answers. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. Never forget to live inside of a spirit of excellence and a spirit of gratitude. In anything and in everything that you do it wholeheartedly unto the Lord, not for human masters. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you mañana.